Beautiful. Thank you.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can. Thank you so much, Tikbo.
All right. All right. I guess we can start.
All right, no problem. I will do that now. All right. Good evening, everyone. Let's get straight to the point. Well, the global job market is not waiting for anyone anymore. Your MBA can open doors, but only if you know how to position yourself where those doors exist. That's exactly what today is about. How to package your skills, rewrite your CV, build your digital brand, and land global roles the right way. Let me quickly share a brief background story about Hilary. I met Hilary Isah during my NYC days. He trained me then in JPTS on HSC 123. And then he also walked us through a CV section on CV writing review then. And let me tell you one thing about him. He was very good then, but now I can say Hilary is better now. Today, he has trained thousands across Nigeria and beyond. And now we are privileged to have him here. But that's not all. Joining him is Nelson Dominic, a seasoned global HR leader with experience across multiple African countries. He's worked with companies like Pharma and Bioscape Commodity. Yes, if my memory serves me right, leading top level HR strategy, recruitment, and career development. So is what so here is what I need from you people on the call. Please turn off every distraction. Treat this section like your career depends on it because it might. And please take in every single insight these speakers are about to drop. They are about to walk this path and now they are here to hand you the map. To everyone who has made this section possible, from our moderating team, the planning team, the technical crew, thank you very much. Lest I forget, my name is Engineer Peter Ogumbowale. I'm the Vice President of the MBA Students Association, University of Lagos. It is my honor to officially welcome you to today's section of the MBA Seminar Series, a first of its kind initiative in the entire MBA school. This is the first time we are doing this. This seminar was born out of a vision to bridge the gap between what we learn in lectures and the practical skills needed to excel in today's business world. Designed to equip MBA students with real actionable strategies on how to pitch your business ideas, one, how to position yourself for global career opportunities, and how to confidently tackle their MBA projects. If you check our flyer very well, you see all of this is highlighted in our publicity material. And I'm telling you, this is not just a one-off event. It's a deliberate and structured program carefully designed to run in 5 impactful sections. Today, we are on the 4th section, and I must say the level of participation and engagement from all of you has been very inspiring. We'll be concluding the series next week, Sunday, with Professor Dixon Ogbuchi. She will be taking the final section on the MBA Project Writing Masterclass. Please join us by 4 p.m. next week, Sunday. And that's what we're going to run this MBA Seminar Series with. We do hope that the next set of leadership will let this initiative not die, but carry it forward, making it bigger, better, and more impactful. Building on what we've started so that the MBA Seminar Series become a sustainable legacy of value, growth, and excellence in UNILAG MBA School. To everyone who has been part of this journey from the one, and to those joining us for the first time, we say big thank you to you guys. You are part of a movement that is changing the MBA experience in UNILAG. Let's make today's section count. Let's learn, let's engage, and leave here better prepared for the opportunities ahead. Dikbo, over to you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Peter. So it is my rare privilege to introduce to us guest speaker for today. Please allow me to share his profile. Please confirm you can see my screen just before I start. Can you,
Yes,
can you
yes,
see
yes,
my
I can
screen?
see. Yes, I can, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So I will just quickly run us through the profile of our guest speaker, Mr. Hilary N. So Mr. Hilary is a dynamic trainer, business consultant, and mentor with over 15 years of experience helping people discover and maximize their potential. Through his initiatives, including Pacesetter Summit International, he has impacted more than 4,000 individuals through entrepreneurship and mentorship programs. He currently serves as a regional coordinator with JPTS International Institute, overseeing 17 learning centers across 7 states and coordinating over 500 participants in their academic and professional programs. Mr. Hilary is also a seasoned business consultant, professional trainer, and author of 6 books with expertise spanning human resource management, project management, quality management, and leadership development. Mr. Hilary holds a master's degree in business administration, a postgraduate degree in management, and numerous professional certifications. His work continues to inspire and equip people to achieve their academic, career, and life goals. It is indeed a great privilege to have Mr. Hilary Isah amongst us today, who will be sharing insights with us that we will hold as keys to unlock many doors as we complete our MBA program. So I will yield the floor back to Peter to invite him to speak. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Dikbo, for that wonderful introduction. Mr. Hilary, sir, good to have you on board. Thank you for joining us on this call. You have the floor. You can have your section. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Please, can you hear me very clearly?
Yes, we can. Yes,
okay,
I can.
Thank you. All right. Okay, thank you. I also want to request for my slides to be shared. I've sent that request. Okay, so I want to say a very big thank you for this wonderful opportunity and privilege to be able to speak on this wonderful platform. I do not take it for granted. Thank you very much. Engineer Peter, I remember those days, and we became friends. Thank you also for this privilege, the president, and also every other leadership, every other leader in this MBA program. I want to say a very big thank you for this privilege. And I believe that at the end of the day, we are really going to be, impacted by this session. So just before I start, I still want to do a further verification just to be sure that you can hear me. I have quite a limited time. And because of the limited time, I want to hit the nail on the head and go straight to the point. Examining the topic I've been given, you will see that these topics in themselves can be series. Literally, they can be series. So we're taking more like 3 topics in one that has been collapsed to be taken within this short time. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to do a bit of justice to it. So the first part of the training is on CV writing. Yes, the first part of the training is on CV writing. So let me expand my screen. Okay, please, can we see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So the topic is CV or resume writing, global job access, and personal branding. Like I said earlier on, these are 3 topics in one. CV writing, which usually encompasses understanding how to prepare a winning CV in line with, preparing for interviews, is all part, though I did not cover that part because of our time and what we have to cover. Then accessing jobs beyond our current space within the country. Of course, that is global job access. And thankfully, today, we are not limited because of the possibilities of internet, okay, which we are going to be looking at. Then also personal branding. So I'm going to go straight to the point. I welcome every one of you once again. Please give us your full attention. Write as much as you can, document as much as you can. And I strongly believe that this session is really, really going to be impactful. You can also document your questions, which we are going to take at the end of, the whole session. So first of all, a resume is a concise document that showcases skill, your experience and qualification. Okay, so you want to showcase something. No, something. You want to showcase your skill, you want to showcase your experience, you want to showcase your qualification because you want a particular position. You have been able to identify a place where you can give in your skills, where you can give your talent, where your abilities and whatever you studied can find expression, commonly called a job. And so generally, conventionally, if you want to apply or if you want to go into a job space, you have to first of all present a document that will serve as a go-between. So that document will represent you. So before whoever is going to employ you will see you, you have to present a document, and that document is either called a CV or a resume. Okay, so why is a resume important and why is CV important? As time goes on, I'm going to differentiate both of them. However, I may use them interchangeably, but they mean two different things. Usually, a CV, which is the acronym for curriculum vitae, means the Latin word that means course of life. And resume is more of a shorter version, or will I use the word a concise or an abridged version of your skills, experience, and expertise that you want to present to your employer for the purpose of employment. But a CV is usually much longer than a resume. So you can have a resume that can just carry, that can be 1 or 2 pages the most, or advisably. But a CV can be as long as 5 pages, 6 pages, 7 pages. So imagine somebody who has worked for 30 years, for instance, and you want to give them a position, or they are to be employed in a position as an ambassador or a representative to a country, and you ask them to bring their document. Of course, they will not be able to present a 2-page CV like somebody who is at an entry level. So for such persons, what they'll be having is a CV, I beg your pardon, and not a resume. So a resume is mostly for those who are either at an entry level or have a short experience, and you can collapse your knowledge into 2 pages, maximum 3, but more advisably 2 pages. So why is a resume very important? Number one, it represents you. A resume represents you because the employer has not met you. The person who intends giving you the job has not met you, but something is going ahead to stand in for you, and that thing is called a resume. And so if you do not prepare that document effectively or well, in a way that it can sell you, you can be shortchanging yourself. So that is one of the reasons why a resume is important, because it represents you. Secondly, of course, being that first impression matters. Secondly, it determines whether you'll be called for an interview or not. And as we're going to be seeing, usually a lot of persons have, I've tried my best, I've applied to 5, 6, 7 jobs, I've sent my resume, I've sent my CV, as the case may be, and nobody has called me. What is the reason? What is going on? You will realize what has been happening, to why that happened. So to determine if you will be called for an interview or not. And thirdly, it suggests how serious you are about your career. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen, I've been on this for quite a number of years, at least close to 15 years. And sometimes when somebody presents his resume, you can already tell if this person is serious with his career or not. Sometimes some people bring their resume, you see it is not looking clean, it is shabby, not well prepared, and such CVs are already misrepresenting those persons, even if those persons are qualified for the job. That is what makes a resume very important. So what we're going to be looking at is, first of all, a guiding principle. And when you have the guide, you can always, use that guide to prepare your CV or your resume, as the case may be. So for the purpose of this training, I will be using the word resume. So you can use that, you can use what we're going to be discussing as a guide. Note that there are cases where there are hard rules, there are cases where there are no hard rules, but understanding will make you effective in how to prepare that. So I've already differentiated the CV from resume. So let's proceed. Now, there are different types of CVs. There are different types of CV. Now, the first type is what we call a chronological CV. From the word chronology, okay? From the word chronology, and chronology has to do with time. So if you're adopting a chronological resume, it is used for showing those who have a steady growth in their career, and they are best used for applying for those who have had, stability in their career. So you are trying to get a job, and you studied maybe engineering your first degree, engineering second degree, you've done some intern, some job that has to do with engineering. You can see a steadiness, a fixed aspect of your knowledge in one direction. What you may be advised to use is a chronological CV. Secondly, we also have functional resumes. Now, functional resumes are used by those that have enough skills and experience. So, for instance, if you have worked for about 10 years, 1, 2, 3 jobs, but you have worked for possibly about 10 years, we'll advise you to adopt the functional method of preparing your resume. Don't forget, in the chronological pattern, you may not have so much knowledge, but you have consistency in your aspect of field or career. It's advised to use a chronological resume, but functional is for those who have enough skills and they have gathered enough expertise. However, we also have a combination of both, more like a hybrid of both chronological CV and the functional CV. And why is it a hybrid? In the hybrid, you choose to prepare your CV or your document in the best way that fits you, depending on the job role that you are applying for. So don't stress out about this. As we proceed, you will realize, and based on the teaching, you will be able to tell which one should you use at what point or the other. Now, before delving into the information of what we are going to be doing, it's important to remember that the information you include on your CV will largely depend on the format you choose. So what we're going to be looking at now is we're going to be running through all the information that should be captured on a CV. Now, I've listed them 1, 2, 3. However, it may not always follow in this same order for reasons which we have talked about, depending on your skill, depending on your expertise, and whichever method you choose to adopt. So we're going to look at what should be on your CV, after which I will show us a few samples that we can see to appreciate what we are discussing. So the first thing that is on your CV is your contact information, which starts with your name. Your name. Now, your name comes largest on the page. It comes boldly. Hilary, Nizolo, Isah, Peter, Ogumbowale, Joseph, Michael. It comes largely. It's the largest statement, if I will use that language, on your resume. So the first thing is your name. Secondly, your location. Usually people want to write addresses. Address is not necessary. Number 4, Ikeja Street, or number 4, Ogba Street, Ikeja, Lagos. All those details are not necessary. All you need to include is your location. So if you're in Lagos, all you need to write is Lagos, Nigeria, Abuja, Nigeria, Enugu, Nigeria. That's it's enough. And of course, if you're applying for What we'll get there. The next thing is your phone number. And if you're applying for international jobs, you add the code +234. But if it's not, I advise you don't need that. All you just need to write is 080 or 070 as the case may be. So write your contact, then email address. Ensure your email address is a professional one. Ensure your email address is a professional one. What do we mean by professional email address? The one that carries your name. For instance, tayo@gmail.com is a professional email address. But if you use email address such as lovemeforreal, mybaby.com, or mybaby@gmail, all of those things are not professional emails and they are not advisable. Make sure your email is carrying your name. Now, if it's not carrying the whole of your name, at least let it carry one of your names. Let it be professional as much as possible. So that is the first thing that is on your CV, your contact information. The second is the job title. The job title. What do you mean by job title? You are applying for a particular job and it's advisable for that job title to be written. Now, if you just have your CV prepared down for opportunities, that is quite different. Okay. Of course, when you're having a CV that you are looking forward to for opportunities, you may not have any job title written, but when it gets to a point where you have seen a position that you want to apply for, then it's important to add the job title on it. Include job title, example, social media manager, project manager, or applying for project as a project manager, social media manager, master chef, chief security officer, freelancer, as the case may be. So your job title should be boldly written. Number 3 is the career objective. The career objective. Now, right at the next top of your resume is where you place your career objective. That can also be called the objective statement, career objective, professional objective. Okay, and what is that objective? Basically, your objective is showcasing in very brief what you want to achieve within either that work environment or within your career space. So the objective has to be relevant to what you're applying for or the position. So you see that based on what we're already looking at, you cannot have a one-size-fits-all CV. It doesn't exist, not for somebody who is really serious about clinching certain job opportunities that they want. So your objective should be relevant to the position you are applying for, and you should avoid being self-centered. What do you mean by that? You don't use pronouns such as I. Okay, you use continuous sentences to bring in my learning and development. You see, that is more like a continuous statement. You don't use pronouns such as I. Then, like I've already reiterated, that you should not use the same objective for every job application, because every job application you may need to tweak it a little to meet the need of that job application. Then avoid vagueness. I'm going to be emphasizing on this so much because usually people's CV are very vague. They do not carry a lot of specificity that can help your potential employer quantify the value that you are bringing. So it's important to avoid vagueness a lot. And I'm going to show us several examples as we go on. So keep it concise and simple. An example: experienced and accomplished political campaign manager with over 10 years experience. Now, from this career objective, you've already seen he has stated political campaign manager, 10 years experience, looking to leverage, extensive knowledge and background in management, departmental organization, mass communicating, and is seeking an entry-level position. So from this, you can already tell that his objective is what his objective is as a professional and a career person. You're already getting to meet your potential or will be employee. That is for the hiring manager, just by reading through your career objective. And if you do not have so much knowledge, I have one stated here: dedicated and motivated engineering graduate seeking entry level as a quality control manager. So you see, he has brought in certain verbs or adjectives that can help to qualify or add value to what he's bringing in as a graduate. So the thing in your professional or career objective is that it should be in line with the job, with the goal to tell your will be a prospective employee what you are bringing to the table. Now, the next thing immediately after your career objective is your work experience. Now, you can see that we moved immediately to work experience. Now, that suggests that we are applying the format of a functional resume. If you want to go by work experience immediately, a functional resume, because this person may have had a lot of experience in working with different areas. He has worked 1 year somewhere, he has worked 3 years somewhere, he has worked 4 years somewhere. He may be bringing a lot of experience to the table. And the idea of a CV is to put your best foot forward. If you do not have a very strong academic background and you have a rich experience, you put that forward. If you are applying for maybe academic related work or research related organization, like research institute and all of that, and you have, and I expect possibly you have a rich academic history, you would want to put that forward, because what you're going to be doing there is more of research. So based on that, you may want to start with your academic knowledge or academic, accomplishments over the years. So, but let's follow this pattern of what we are discussing, which is work experience. Now, note that I did not say working experience. I see that a lot. We were engaged in recruiting about 30 lecturers for this institute. An institute contacted us, to recruit lecturers for them, and we're recruiting almost 30 lecturers. And I was so surprised to see that those who we think are in the academic space and will know more, we are making a lot of blunders on their CV. You will see things like working experience and all of that. So please, even grammatically, it should be work experience. Include your work experience in reverse chronology, starting from the most recent. That's what we mean by reverse chronology. You start with your most recent work experience. Now, this section can include jobs, internships, volunteer jobs that you have done in companies, and all of that. They all add to the experience that you have. Now, it should include your company, your position, where you work. That's what I mean by the company, the position, the role that you played, and the date of that employment. Now, very importantly, ladies and gentlemen, is to list the important tasks and accomplishment or skill gained at each job that will be valuable to your would-be employer. Let me show us an example. I believe you are with me. If everybody is with me, can somebody just say hello so that I can be sure that we're all together?
Yes, hello, we are with you, sir.
All right, thank you. Now, I quickly want to show us an example, okay? Because when people are writing in the aspect of experience, it's important to quantify your experience and to use what we call action words or verbs, and you should quantify your accomplishment. The mistake people often make is that they just write out their job description, which is very, very wrong. We are not necessarily, employers, I beg your pardon, are not necessarily after your job description. They are after the impact you made as a result of that job. So look at this CV. Look at this CV, for instance. I want to show something. Because we want this to be as practical as possible. Okay. If you see the work experience of this individual, you will observe something very interesting. He did not just, the jobs experience are not just listed out as it were. Okay, no. Sorry, I'm trying to get something. Okay, the jobs are not just listed out as it were. For instance, collaborated in training individuals and bodies in over 8 states of the Federation. Now, what does that word collaborate collaboration suggests, it already tells you that this person is a team player. So often the mistake that somebody will write on their CV is, I am a team player. But you see, the question that will be on our mind is, if you're a team player, how are you a team player? It is not telling us what you can do. It is about stating, let us see the result of that thing. Liaising with individuals, corporate bodies, and government in presenting opportunities to them. Okay, let me look for another one to corroborate my point. Look at there's a point that says, led a team of 8 coordinators in coordinating over 2,000 individuals to remain active during a period of crisis. So you see that if you study this, the work experience of this individual, you will see that at every point it was quantifiable. At every point you could relate with it. At every point he gave, you see that what he was doing and what he was achieving could be related with 3,000 people, 500 people, one person. He participated, he collaborated. So don't focus on writing your, what is called, your job description. Is absolutely wrong just to write your job description. What you write is your job description in line with what you accomplished on that job, which is what the employer or the hiring manager really wants to see. So use strong and active words that suggest solutions and your contributions, not just words that describe the job that you did. Avoid using terms that are customized to your organization. For instance, in my place of work and what we do, and also in our own organization, we have technologies that are unique to us. So you don't use a terminology that is not known as a common word that anybody can relate to. Don't use customized languages on your resume. Avoid irrelevant work experience of possibly even 10 years and above. So there are some job experience that may be antiquated. They are no longer relevant. So if anything from 10 years above, you see that that work experience is no longer relevant. For those who are into IT, for instance, there are some softwares, or should I use the word applications, or some programming languages that are obsolete. You may not need such obsolete programming languages to be included on your CV, because in as much as we appreciate the fact that you have been into it for a long time, but that may not be adding value to what is needed in the most recent time. So avoid antiquated information. Then use jargons or words related to the field or technical terms. So if you're in accounting, for instance, when you're giving your work experience, I expect you to bring things such as, accounts, financial statements, and all of that. You bring language that are relevant to that area. If you're into IT and technology, we expect to see words like software. We expect to see words like data analysis and all of those things. Your CV should suggest to us that you are experienced in that area that you're putting in for. And that is that about about your work experience. The next is education. Include degrees you have also received in reverse chronology. In other words, with the most recent degree, and be sure to include the name of the institution, where it is located, and the date upon which you graduated or you obtained that certificate. And where applicable, now this is quite sensitive, because there are people that graduate with very good degrees and possibly good CGPAs, but anything less than 3.5, you should not include that on your CV, and not obtain at not more than 2 years, except if what you are applying for is within academic spaces. Okay, if you have any special honorary degree, honorary conferment, you may want to include that. Publications, projects, especially those that are within academic fields, that may become necessary. But if you're within professional spaces, some of these things may not be relevant, especially your CGPA. Is not what we may want to see. What we will be looking for is the impact or the effect of your CGPA within that professional work environment. Then the next is your skills. This is very, very important, ladies and gentlemen. We are in an era of skills. Skills have become very important. Of course, employing your skills is what gives you the job or the work experience. So include skills that are relevant for that position: IT skills, communication skills, first aid skills, writing skills, IT skills, whatever skills you have, digital skills that are relevant to that job. It's important to include it. Now, for being that we're also touching things in line with international jobs, if you're familiar with certain foreign languages, you may want to include it alongside the level of proficiency. So if you can speak French, for instance, you should include the level of proficiency, which we basically have 4 levels of proficiency. We have beginning, intermediate, proficient, and fluent, and those that are fluent. So these are the 4 levels of the ability to which one can speak, your level of familiarity with that language. So if you're a beginner, state that you're a beginner, so that you're not employed on the basis of the fact that you said you could speak French very well, and you're given an opportunity for an interview and it looked like you lied because you cannot speak the French as much as you declared on your CV. So keep it very real. Yes, include it, but you may want to also include the level of your familiarity with the language or level of proficiency. List other skills that may also be necessary. Now, sometimes we have skills, but you may not know how to coin out such skills. Thanks to AI, thanks to the world that we are in, what I would suggest is, so if you're applying for a job in a particular area, maybe just any area, and you're not sure how do I label, what nomenclature do I use for this particular kind of skill, you can go on Google, you can go on ChatGPT and say, please, ChatGPT, initiate a prompt, skills that are necessary in the area of IT or accounting. You can look it up so that you can get professional languages to use. I believe the point is taken, to use for your to coin out your skill language. People have skills and they don't even know what to call it. People have various knowledge on several things and they do not know how to put it out professionally. If you're not contacting a professional to help you with your CV, you're running it by yourself, then it's important to get the right use of language. We said avoid generic skills. Then number 7, may have written, know your exam with for those in accounting, for those who are in oil and gas, health and safety, for those who are in construction and engineering, project management, all of these things, for those who are into manufacturing, quality management and quality control, for those who are into customer care, may want to do customer care relations, who are into banking, and all of that. So there are various certification and licenses that are required in some fields. If you have that, this is where you include that certification as well. Then hobbies and interests. Hobbies and interests. You can see what I wrote here for hobbies and interests is optional. Optional. And we use optional because it may not be necessary for you to include your hobby or your interests. It may not be necessary. But again, it still depends on the nature of job you are applying for. If your hobby or your interest line up in the grand scheme of things, it lines up with what you are applying for, it's fine, you can include it. But if it's not, if it's totally at par, totally at variance, I beg your pardon, with what you are applying for, you may want to leave it out because in any case, nobody's really looking out for your hobby or interest. But if for instance, you love sports very well, and you are into tourism, you're into travels, that's okay. It's all aligned. If you're into if you're in education space and you love to discover new things, you love to travel to learn new things, you're into research as a hobby, that's cool. You can add that. But the point is to know what to put when, if you should, and if you should not include that skill in your CV. Okay, so please, that's very, very important to note. All right, so please let's move on. The next, let us note the following. Note the following while preparing your CV. Note the following while preparing your CV. Beg your pardon. So note the following while preparing your CV. Number one, keep your resume to 1 or 2 pages. Keep it to 1 or 2 pages, not more than that. Manager to be able to, if you have what it takes or not. 7.47, so 7.4 seconds. So just scanning through your resume, because it's just 2 pages, you can literally take your eyes immediately to what you are looking for. Okay, so in just that short time, you can tell if the person has that required skill or not. So because of that, you want to keep it very concise. You want to keep it very straightforward. You want to keep it very directed to what is necessary. So first of all, keep it to 1 or 2 pages. Number 2, your CV has to be ATS compliant. I'll dwell here for the next 2 minutes. Your CV should be ATS compliant. What is ATS compliant? ATS stands for Applicant Tracking System. ATS stands for Applicant Tracking System. ATS stands for Applicant Tracking System. So you realize that imagine a job that over 5,000 people are applying for. 5,000 persons are applying for. Now, the HR department or the HR section will not sit down and start going through 5,000 applications. No, they will not do that. What usually happens is there is a software that is called ATS, which is Applicant Tracking System. So when people submit their CVs, all CVs are subjected to ATS, which is Applicant Tracking System. So what does an ATS do? An ATS scans, it sorts, it ranks and filters specific criteria that are required for a job. It is designed in such a way that the recruiter has already put in what he wants, has been programmed what he wants to see on the ATS system. And so if I put 1,000 CVs, if I pass 1,000 CVs through ATS, through the Applicant Tracking System, at the end of the day, you may not have up to 50 CVs that will pass through. Why? Because being that we are looking for something, we have programmed the system that if it does not see X, Y, Z, then that is not relevant to what we want. Usually, for people that I prepare CV for, I usually test run them through an applicant tracking system. And sometimes it can tell you the percentage of ATS compliance. The one I did, I think just a few, was it last week? I prepared a CV and I subjected it to the ATS system, and it gave about 86 compliance with the job that the person was looking for. So that is what happens sometimes, and people start wondering, hey, what happened to me? Oh, I prepared my CV, I added all of this, and I had the qualification based on what they required, I have everything, but you did not prepare that CV to be compliant, to be ATS compliant, or to be compliant with the applicant tracking system. So what should you do? Any job you want to apply for, here is the trick, or here is the guide, rather, not a trick. Any job you are applying for, go and check for the job description. Check for what they are looking for, and tailor-meet your CV to that thing that they are looking for. So if they write that, let me even tell you, if they don't use work experience, if they use job experience, remove work experience and change your CV to job experience. Because that's what the machine will be checking for. If they write if they use words such as maybe experience, you look for a place, you replace, you look for your from your job description, you use the languages they used to tailor your CV such that all those things that have been put in the job description can be found on your CV. I don't know if I'm making myself very clear. Maybe when we get to the question section, if anybody is not clear, I can throw more light to that. But that is how an applicant tracking system works. So in my own opinion, usually this is where people miss it, especially when there are mass recruitment or when people have to submit CV, because no hiring manager has the time. I mean, you're sending your CV on an international platform. No hiring manager, or even in Nigeria, will sit down and start going through 50 CVs one at a time. He wants to narrow it down to the minimum number of CVs that are the most, that have the better chances of getting that job. So applicant tracking system is a thing you must note. Keep your CV organized, visually appealing, and easy to read. Okay, use professional fonts like 12, font size like 12, at the most 12.5 or 13 if you don't have so much to write. Then use fonts like Cambria, Times New Roman. Avoid stylish fonts, it's not necessary. Then in a case where you're going to be submitting your CV in person, there are cases where, I mean, you will just have an opportunity and they say, bring your CV in person, submit in person, enclose it in a good envelope. Time will not, I really want to focus more on teaching than telling stories, but I wish I had the time. I'll have given us so many examples of, in fact, somebody came to my office, was it some months ago, to submit a CV for a job application. In fact, once when I opened it, I was so impressed already. So he already won my heart, even without even looking at the CV, because it was well labeled, documented in this envelope. It was so neat, so organized, so interesting to read, and it already suggested that this person is somebody who one will want to work with. But there's some CVs that you read that are scattered, are not well organized, they are not arranged properly, it's not aligned. You want to photocopy it with a photocopy line all over, with dots all over it. No, all of those things do not suggest that you're serious. Then number two, okay, number four, I beg your pardon, include your LinkedIn profile. Yes, it's important, because as we're going to see as time goes on, there is also CV outside documents. Okay, so there's what I call an online CV, which we'll get to. So include your LinkedIn profile, then tailor your CV to always meet the job that you're applying for. Label your resume file correctly. Now, on your computer, after closing, not when it's opened, the name the file carries is important. So let's not see documents 1, 2, 3, my resume, this is my recent CV, all of that. Let the CV carry your name, Tunde Adeni resume. Yes, so label it that way. Let us know that it's your own. Do not include personal information such as birthdays. No, it's not necessary. Your height, except maybe you are applying for a job that requires you to tell your height. For instance, like paramilitary. Paramilitary sometimes asks for the height of, because that's a requirement. Then your weight, don't include that if it's not necessary. Marital status, all of these things, helps you to avoid profiling. So marital status, if somebody sees you want to employ somebody, oh, this person is married, is a woman and she's married, possibly she's just been married for 3 years, 5 years, kids and all of those things, should not be able to focus on her work. Let us take it out. Number of children, all of those things are not necessary. Again, except if the job asks for it. Number 8, don't be unrealistic in a bid to impress. There are some CVs that when you're reading it, you're already telling that this is not true. This is not true. You saw the person that came to submit the CV. He doesn't have any experience. And yet, when you see everything, the attempt to bamboozle your would-be employer. So your prospective employer. Okay, so it's not necessary to impress per se. Of course, you want to impress him, but don't be unrealistic. Okay, then references, do not include references. I mean, that's an old-time system. Do not include references, and also do not write available on request. No, we don't need to see that. Nobody needs to see it. If references are necessary, you will be requested for it. To be requested for. So you're not adding it. You don't need to tell us that it to be available if we need it. If we need it, we'll definitely ask for it. So do not include references. Number 10, a sensitive aspect. be careful of photos on your resume. Now, including your picture on your resume depends on the country you are applying for a job. Now, countries like US, UK, Ireland, those countries discourage the use of pictures. In fact, if you go online, you'll see so many resumes and CVs today that are including pictures. But people take it more like a design, more like something that is beauty. So you're beautiful, you're trying to impress, whoever you're hiring manager. And so you're adding your picture and all of that. It's not necessary, ladies and gentlemen. For countries like the UK and US, you are not required to add your picture. Why? Because of profiling. Now, those countries have very strict laws against profiling people. I mean, in fact, you could even be arrested, and if you're charged and you're found guilty, you could even be sent to jail for profiling people. So pictures can suggest profiling. If you're not taking, somebody now says, oh, it's because my picture was there, that's why I was profiled. So countries like that do not require your picture. However, there are some countries that requires candidates or prospective employees, or applicants to include their CV, like Australia, Spain, China, and many others. I think even India. Some of those countries may require you to add your picture or your photo. Now, in a case where you have to add your picture or your photo, make sure it's a professional picture. Let it not be a selfie. Let it not be something funny. Let it not be something that, you just took by the beach, or you took while we are walking on the street or something. No, let it be a very professional photo, more of a headshot, just from your below your neck, your collar and above. It's sufficient enough for a picture. But again, if it's not required, do not include it. Last week, a lady sent me her CV. There's a friend of mine who is recruiting. I mean, they are recruiting in their company, and this friend of mine is the HR. And so she sent me her CV to help the brother, with it. And you could see the picture. His picture was included on the CV. Now, he had beards all over, you could see his hair. And I had to call. I said, listen, nothing wrong with this thing, but it's not advisable. You don't know who is hiring, and the person who is hiring may not find it, nice for you to keep beards. You may just be shooting yourself in the foot. So avoid pictures, all right? Avoid spelling, grammar, typographical errors. Avoid first person's pronouns. Avoid outdated skills. Avoid irrelevant work history. Avoid antiquated information. Avoid bright and graphics color, except if you are applying for a graphics job. If it's not, your CV is a professional document, okay? And depending on the ATS software, not all ATS softwares can scan through some of these things. In fact, it's advisable to avoid columns. Don't bring too many columns on your CV. ATS runs in more like a horizontally. So it's not good at reading too many columns because of the way the software is designed, except for recent ones. So avoid full photographs and pictures, and don't tell lies. Don't tell lies on your CV. People lie a lot. So let's just get in there. When you now get there, then you start having issues. So in a nutshell, this is how information that should be on your CV and what should contain. So I want to show us an example of some CVs quickly and explain a few things. Now, if you look at this CV, of course, this is a headshot, which is okay. And for cases where people want to have designs on their CVs, which I largely discourage, please use simple and light colors like this. Because you see, your CVs can be distracting. There's a way somebody will carry a document, and that document is already distracting. So avoid documents that are distracting. For some of them may apply for international jobs, and whatever the job may be, avoid situations like this. Let me show you one. Avoid a CV like this. This is not, no. Except, again, you hear my disclaimer. Maybe you want to show yourself as a graphic designer and you're applying for a job. Now, even at that, don't create a CV that is distracting. Don't create a CV that every part of the CV is calling for attention. Oh, what is this? Contact. Okay, this is cute. No, we don't want to be scattered. Writing your name in two separate fonts may not be necessary for a professional. Okay, so you want to know the type of CV you are preparing, the kind of job, that you can now this if you look at this headshot, this guy is a web developer, and you can see this is a very professional picture. Now, this is also what I will recommend if you have to use pictures. Something like this where you use pastel colors. Do not use anything that is difficult to manage. Then look at this one that I showed us earlier on. Now, this, in my own opinion and from experience, is what you may want to call a very good and professional CV. The CV itself is not distracting. You can see the name, you can see the objective, you can see the work experience, you can see the education, you can see the skills, you can see the professional qualifications that the person has, straight to the point, and it will aid whoever is looking at it. So if you prepare CVs like this, for instance, it may be distracting and you will not allow the person to focus on what they are looking for, and it may be suggestive of a lot of things. So avoid that if possible. In today's world, as we proceed, beyond having your CV in the conventional way that we have it, we also have what I call your online resume. Yes, your online resume. In the business world, today, Instagram has become very important, because when people want to see what you have been able to do, they quickly go to your Instagram page beyond what you tell them. Okay, let's go and check the person out. And let me say this in passing, please. I don't know, maybe I must have skipped that, or I think it's under this online resume. I'm to talk about that. What happens a lot today is that recruiters, before the point of interview, recruiters go and check people's personal profile. They go and check your social media handles. They check your what's it called, your Facebook. Sometimes they check your X or your Twitter, as its case may be. They also check your what's it called, your LinkedIn profile. So these are your online resumes, and what you put out there is very important. So we can actually go back to 5 years. In fact, there was somebody who applied for I think a Zenith job, and there was a time some years ago where Zenith was having some issues, and this guy went and tweeted that Zenith Bank is the most useless bank in Nigeria, only for him to come and apply to Zenith Bank a few years down the line. Unfortunately, they went through his social media profile, and they saw, this was a real life story, they saw a place where he wrote that Zenith Bank is the most useless bank in Nigeria. He was just speaking carelessly. And people do that a lot because of the freedom of speech and the freedom to be able to type what you want. So please, it's important to note that your online life, it's one of the most important resume you will ever present today. So we have before us a clean, well thought out, well written resume, but your profile is saying something different about you. So I know we're going to be discussing LinkedIn profile later, which is very important for us. So your LinkedIn profile is your online resume. So please note that. There's also a site where it's called About Me, about.me. That about.me site is where you can actually create a very good profile. And depending on the situation, you can also add that to your, to your contacts, where your profile can also be checked. Beyond what you present in your resume, the real you can be seen on social media platforms, and your history can be revisited. Be careful of your likes, your posts, your comments, and your shares, because online resumes do not lie. Your physical resume of what you show, what you present, what you give to us, or what you give to the hiring manager may... Okay, Engineer Peter, thank you. I can see you're drawing my attention.
Yeah, let me just give you one more minute to round up. We are pressed for time.
Okay, thank you. All right, so let me quickly talk about two things in the next 30 seconds. How do you get great jobs, international jobs? Number one, many companies do not post their jobs online, except if people repost it. So always visit or check company websites. Don't wait for jobs. Go for them. You know what you want. Go for the job. Attend industry events. Reach out to existing contacts. Your LinkedIn. Build good networks. I wanted to expatiate on all of this. Then your personal brand. Now, the mistake that people easily make about personal brand is this. As you are living your life every day, you're already putting out your personal brand. So what you need to do is now to be very intentional about your personal brand. That intentionality is now brings you to the point where you want to, first of all, know who you are, to discover your personality, rule you and start becoming intentional. So whether you're intentional or you're not intentional, whatever you're doing every day, you're already projecting a personal brand. So in summary, I will advise, I wish I had time. In summary, what I will advise you in building your personal brand is, first of all, you have to discover the niche where you want to operate. Yes, I'm only on this platform because my niche has been circulated and everybody knows, or let me say the people who are within my influence know the area where I function. Okay, so you have to, over time, be able to define your area or your place. Without that definition, you cannot brand yourself in nothing. You have to brand yourself in something specific so that we can associate you or we can relate you with something. Then after doing that, you create an avenue where you can share your knowledge, skills, and expertise. And like I said, build a robust network, be authentic and be real. And you know that over time, you can build a brand that can sell yourself better. So in summary, your CV or resume in physical, it's important. Number two, your online resume, which is more like a branding of yourself and the attempt to get a job out there. Thank you so much, and I appreciate this opportunity. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Hilary, for that insightful section. It's a lot of clarity. There's an insight. You mentioned something that struck me. You said in your CV, don't put your job description, put the impact you make on the job. Thank you so much.
Yes.
We don't have so much time.
Thank you.
Would like to bring in Nelson. I'm sure he's on the call. Dikbo, please introduce Nelson and let him have the floor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, my VP, Engineer Peter Ogumboale. Please confirm you can see my screen while I'll introduce our next guest speaker.
Yes,
Mr.
your screen is up.
All right. Thank you once again, Mr. Hilary, for your presentation and all the knowledge you have brought. Now, everyone will be moving on to our next guest speaker. Our next guest speaker is Mr. Nelson Dominic. He's a seasoned global HR professional with over a decade of experience managing human resource functions across multiple countries, including Nigeria, Ivory Coast, and Gabon. He currently serves as head of human resources in Nigeria and Ivory Coast at Bioscape Commodities Africa, where he leads HR strategy, talent management, and organizational development in the biofuel industry. Previously, Mr. Nelson held senior HR leadership roles at M Pharma Health, driving large-scale HR integrations and talent development initiatives for a workforce of over 700 employees. His career also includes roles at Nestle Nigeria PLC, Red Africa, Polaris Digitech, and Whitfield Ventures, where he built expertise in recruitment, employee relations, and performance management. Mr. Nelson holds an MBA in human resources and is passionate about building high-performing teams, driving diversity and inclusion, and aligning HR systems with organizational goals. Let's welcome Mr. Nelson Dominic. Sir, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, loud and clear. We can hear you, sir.
Confirm you can see me as well. All right, great. So I'll say thank you to everyone for this opportunity and privilege. I do not take it for granted. I'm excited to be speaking to professionals this evening. Professionals, because I know that for anyone to really, would you find an entry level or someone that just finished uni going for an MBA? And so I understand that my audience today are people who've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, in some cases 10, 15 years experiences, in the workspace. And so I'll be speaking to you on that high level, trying to make you understand, where we're at. I have a screen to share, so after you please permit me to share my screen, so we can kick off. we can kick off this this evening. But again, guys, thank you so much for having me. I am excited to be here. I just hope that you will find value at the end of this conversation. Someone help me confirm that you can see my screen.
Yes, the screen is up.
Loud and very good. So in front of me this evening, we're supposed to be talking about positioning yourself for global career opportunities. And for me, quick one about me, I know they've done the intro and all of that. Pioneer of HR for Bioscape, building people systems in Africa's growing biopharma industry, experience spanning talent management, organizational design, cross-border HR, startup scope experience, speaker, mentor, advocate, for future-ready Africa professionals. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is Nelson. I'm excited to be speaking to you. Again, what's my agenda for this evening? My agenda is very simple. First, understanding the global career landscape. Number 2 would be the power of LinkedIn optimization. Number 3 will be leveraging digital platforms for growth. Number 4 will be building a personal brand. And then I want to take your questions and we'll have an interactive session. So first, when we talk about the global career landscape, what do we mean? Before COVID, there used to be noise about the future of work. The interesting thing is that the future of work happened to us and we still do not know it. The future of work happened as very, very fast in 2020. It's still happening to us and we're still referring to the future of work. And so from where I see it, I like to, when we have this conversation, I like to speak of the now of work intentionally, because you will see that the now of work has created an environment where I do not need to travel to Denmark, US, UK, Canada. Before now, if you will see that people have to, especially if you work in multinationals, before 2020, people have to go for secondment. People have to go for, go to these countries for project and stay in 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, 1 month, 6 months, right? To be able to work effectively with colleagues in other countries, in other markets. And so that was a very, very high cost-effective thing to do. But when COVID happened, it opened the world in so much that the world now became a global talent space. In so much that we can play in any country, any part of the world, as far as we're competent in whatever it is we're seeking to deliver, right? And so you will see now that the Global Talent Commission is real, where skill is what matters, not your degree. And I'll pause there. I'll put this here intentionally. The illusion you will have as an MBA graduate is to assume and believe that because you have an MBA, once you put MBA on your CV, the world will rush after you. The jobs will come knocking. You would only be deceiving yourself if you have that mindset. If your mindset is, oh, I have an MBA now, so my CV applied to any job, it must come. I'm sorry to disappoint you as a fellow MBA holder, that is not going to happen. What the marketplace wants to see is the skill and competence and capabilities that you have and that you can demonstrate. What perceived transferable skills, what perceived value are you bringing on board for the global talent landscape to open up to you, not your degree? Having degrees is good. Last school no be scam. However, as long as school no be scam, for you, school can become scam if all you have done is just to go and learn book and get certificates without building valuable competence skills and without also knowing how to showcase those valuable competences that you have built. Two things. It's one thing that you have the skills. It's another thing that you know where to put those skills and in which place to put it. Again, the second point is that remote and hybrid work are shaping opportunities. Now, even manufacturing before now, where people will say, oh, once I'm manufacturing, there's some kind of companies that you can work remotely or hybrid. I know colleagues and friends who can work hybrid now because that is where the now of work has taken us to. There's a cross-cultural competence that is a valuable asset. When we say cross-cultural competence, Do you, as an accountant, all you know is just the Nigerian tax law? For instance, how about the IFRS, which is a global accounting standard? How have you built that competence? The IFRS is a global accounting standard that you can apply it here in Nigeria, apply in UK, apply in whatever country you want to apply it. So, what cross-cultural competence have you built in so much that you can play in the global landscape? What does your digital presence look like? Have any of you decided to just type your name on Google and see what will come out? Now, not because you have gone to do any search enhancements, but because Google will automatically pick whatever information you have put, either your LinkedIn profile or what information the world has spoken about you on the web. Your digital presence in the now of work precedes your physical presence. So how exactly are you optimizing your digital presence? First, why does LinkedIn matter? Over 1 billion people globally, including recruiters and decision makers, are on LinkedIn. Now, your first impression often starts with your profile. Personal branding hub is what LinkedIn is. For some of us, for some professionals, for most professionals, LinkedIn is a personal branding hub. It is beyond your digital CV like you think. The reason why some professionals today in some spaces is because they are from time to time put out their voice, put out communication on LinkedIn, that people can say, oh, this person does this, not because they have met you, but because your personal branding, your first impression, your online presence has preceded you. LinkedIn is also a platform for thought leadership, networking, and discovery. Now, when we now talk about, okay, so you talk about LinkedIn. What then do we want to do? And I'll say, okay, how do we use LinkedIn? It pains me when I see professionals who have solid competence. When you go on LinkedIn, you really cannot say that they are competent in anything. They just have a LinkedIn profile with no, what's the word? No value, nothing. If you're on this call and you do not even have profile picture on, you don't have profile picture on your LinkedIn profile, then you are wrong. Profile picture, not selfie. Profile picture, not the picture you took in a no one bed. Profile picture, not the picture of you just, lounging in your car. A compelling professional picture. How about a headline? What does your headline say about you? How then do you write a clearly concise, value-driven summary in your about section? How do you showcase your achievements under each role, not just responsibility? Your skills, your certification, your media content, where you have been mentioned, they should be on your LinkedIn. This is what summarizes LinkedIn optimization. Your compelling headline, your value-driven summary, your achievements in each of the roles you have done, then adding your skills. I'm going to show you an example of mine so you can see. Now, LinkedIn tips that work. First, people just go on LinkedIn and say, I'm just there. Like we said, LinkedIn is supposed to be your brand document. It's supposed to be what people should see and say, oh, yes, this person is a professional, right? If you, it's not a thing of interest. You can choose not to care. But if you care for how the professional world will perceive you and how you can attract both local and global opportunities, then you should take LinkedIn seriously. And so, first, engage weekly. You want to like, you want to comment, you want to share, you want to post. Connect strategically. Alumni, industry professionals, HR leaders. Use keywords in your headline and your experience. Don't just write anything. What are the linguas? What is the lingua? What is the buzzword? What is the jargon associated with your area of specialization? You want to ensure that those buzzwords, those linguas, those jargons are properly captured on your LinkedIn profile, right? You also want to ask for recommendation and give to. You have worked somewhere else before. You have worked under a line manager before, right? How do you want to ensure, right, that you get recommendation on LinkedIn from these people? Because imagine somebody who have managed you before putting a positive comment for you on LinkedIn as a recommendation. That is one part of those things that make, oh, this person actually knows. Those are honors. Now, when we come to career opportunities, first, before I even go to career opportunities, right? Basically, what I've said in the first part of this whole conversation is that as professionals, you must not depend on your skills and certificates. Your focus should be, what skills do I need to build and develop? And after I've built and developed those skills, right, what cross-cultural competencies do I need to build, master, and develop? And how do I put it in the face of people that it matters to? And for now, LinkedIn is one of that platform in which both locally and globally, you can get attraction to yourself. You can get traction to your profile. How then is my LinkedIn optimized in so much that it is speaking to my competence, it is speaking to my value, it's speaking to my capability, and I'm rightly positioned to attract global opportunities. When we talk about digital career opportunities, right? I mean, there are several of them. I just use this, there's Upwork, TopTap, Fiverr, remote jobs. We work remotely, remote OK, flex jobs. These are websites you can get remote jobs. Professional network like GitHubs, BIAS, and for software and tech guys. Certifications like Coursera, LinkedIn Learning, Google, Microsoft, and whatever certification that is peculiar to your own field, right? These are digital career opportunities you can explore. Now, when we talk about building your personal brand, right? We're saying know your unique value and communicate it consistently. Know your unique value and communicate it consistently. Show thought leadership. You should not be in finance. And that's why for me, I'm heavy on quality of experience over quantity of experience. What do I mean? You could have worked for 20 years in the finance team, and all you have done for 20 years is accounts payable, accounts receivable, and reconciliation. But you have somebody who has worked for just 10 years, and in that 10 years, he has done account receivable, account payables, reconciliation, financial modeling, tax, financial control, audit and internal control. He has touched almost every part of finance. That person is a better professional. That person is a more competent and qualified professional than someone who, sorry, give me a second. Glory. Let's give it to me. Yeah, that person is a better professional than somebody who has worked for 20 years and has just done just account payable. I'll go over that again. Quality of experience is always valuable over the quantity of experience. The quality of experience you have. So that's why you should not sit down in a workplace and for 10 years, for 2 years, for 3 years, you are doing just one function and you are satisfied with the fact that you are earning your pay. You are only shortchanging your future. You are shortchanging the kind of job you can find. And that's why you find some people will do account payable in company A. They go and do account payable in company 2. That's all they do. And then the possibility that you ever make CFO is very, very slim because you have not touched every area of finance. You are only glorifying and enjoying the fact that you have spent 20 years in your department doing account payable. And so your focus should be building quality experience over time, touching every area of your specialization as much as you can, and communicating it consistently online. The professional of today, the professional of the now of work, must be that professional who understands how to position himself in the public space, who can stand and command respect, who have cadence, who can position himself out and the world can see the value they bring on board per time. Again, like I said, show thought leadership. You can only show thought leadership if you have built competence. If truly you have developed competence Each you have from time to time have a mind of your own. It is from several experiences. You have worked in company A, company B, you have seen several issues, and from your experience, you have been to solve it, that you can actually bring forward a thought leadership. And so when you are sure of what thought leadership you have, then you must be able to show it by your posts, by your articles, by your insights, by your conversations. Engage in community and network opportunities. Let your online presence, let it also tally, let it align with your offline presence. Do not be that professional who make noise online, but when you come to your office, you are the one who do not perform. You are a terrible performer. In your office, back to back, you never pass performance appraisers. But yet you come online and you bragado, and everybody sees you. But then when it now comes to delivering offline, people cannot go to your manager or your peers and get good feedback of your performance. No. Let your online and your offline presence align. You should not be the one who is on PIP in your organization, but then you come on LinkedIn, social media, and I meet your friend, and we brag me to be that if without me, that company will die. Let your online and offline presence align. As we wrap up on final takeaways, because I like us to have interactive sessions, and that's what I'm trying to rush so I can manage my time. I can take your questions. My final takeaway will be your LinkedIn is your first handshake, so make it strong. The world is watching. You may think the world is not watching. Recently, I posted an article on LinkedIn, and a friend of mine came to me on one of my HR WhatsApp and said, Nelson, some MDs don't mark your face. What was my article about? My article was about establishing myself or recommunicating my achievements in my current organization as the pioneer of HR in a pioneer industry. And so the biofuel industry is still a very young industry in Nigeria and even in Africa. A lot of even oil and gas companies want to go into biofuel. So imagine I'm positioning myself as that pioneer HR who has been able to drive several initiatives in this space. What is that doing to me? Is ensuring that I am intentionally building because the world is watching. And so do not leave your career to chance. Intentionally build, people are watching. Now, digital platforms have democratized opportunities, so maximize them. It's a world of democracy. It's not a world for one set of people. Be visible, be valuable, be global. With that, I will end with the first part of this conversation. Now, I've been asked to also speak about career navigation if time permits. So I'm going to just rush everything, then I'll take questions, right? So for some of us, you're currently doing your MBA, right? But you know that you probably are just working as an admin somewhere. You have not even found your feet in the path you want to stay. Or you have been doing something, but you want to move, right? Now, mid-career is also a time for reinvention, not stagnation. So transition can be role-based, industry-based, or geographical-based. First thing you must also understand is that self-awareness and clarity is the first key to pivoting effectively. So the question I want to say to you is, how self-aware are you? Do you even have clarity of your journey? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What exactly it is for you? Be self-aware. Have a goal. I'm doing this now. What do I want to do next? Now, when you have done that, then you audit your current skills and experience. Identify your transferable skills. Identify your knowledge gaps. You must be very sincere with yourself to say, okay, I am not the best at sliced bread. I have gaps. These are the technical competencies that I have. Identify them and draw up a plan to close those gaps. Network intentionally in your desired industry or role. So you're looking for a new role, new industry. Intentionally network with people who are there and show value to them. Take up short-term project or certification to reposition yourself. Reframe your LinkedIn, reframe your resume to reflect your transition story. There are a lot of myths when it comes to career transition, mid-career and all of that. And I'm going to just talk a few of them. They say it is too late to switch careers. No, it is not too late to do anything, no matter your age and time. You need to start from scratch, not always true. It depends on how you position yourself. Recruiters will consider career switch as not always true. Again, it depends on how you tell your story. You are your own brand storyteller. Then the truth is that value and relevance will always win over linear paths. So what value are you bringing on board? What relevance are you demonstrating? They will always win. Again, when you want to position yourself during transition, is you want to craft a narrative that shows progression, not confusion. Oh, I did this role as a business analyst over time. When I did it for 2 years, I finally realized that, oh, I can actually do something else. And that brought my interest into data analysis. Now, with my experience on SQL, VLOOKUPs, etc., and business analytics and presentation, I can transfer these skills into becoming a data analyst. You see, let your narrative show progression, not confusion. Not, oh, I don't tire, I don't know what to do next, so help my life. No. You only put yourself at the mercy of organization. So craft your narrative to show progression, not confusion. I like strategic decisions, not desperation. Do not show desperation, even if you are desperate. I like your strategy. This is a strategy I'm making for my career at this point, and this is why I need this to work for me. This is why I need to get into this new role. Focus on impact, adaptability, and future readiness. Again, finally, use LinkedIn as a platform to communicate your shifts proactively. This is where I will stop, and I'll take your questions. If there are no questions, then I'll come back again and wrap up. Thank you and good evening.
Wow, thank you so
Thank you very
much.
much.
Thank you so much, Nelson. I will really be lying if I said I've not learned from this section. Honestly, I will really be lying. Said quality of experience over quantity of experience. That's serious. Dick, over to you. You can have the Q&A section. Thank you. Thank you so much. Your section has been wonderful and impactful. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, my VP, Engineer Peter Ogumboale. I must say I've also learned a lot from both guest speakers. It's been insightful. I mean, I had to quickly just check my LinkedIn again to see if I'm in compliance with what Mr. Nelson has been saying. I will adjust a few things before I will share my LinkedIn with any other person. Thank you very much. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we are now at the Q&A section of today's power-packed session. So please, with a show of hand, you can raise your hand using the function on your Zoom app. There's a raise your hand so that we can see that you have a question. For those who would like to type their questions, you can use the chat box to drop your messages. Okay, we have Morenike Oshin. Morenike Oshin, you can ask your question. They will take some more. Thank you. Let me just say, Morenike, hold on. Both questions, I mean, the questions can go to any of the speakers. So it can either be to you, Mr. Nelson, or Mr. Hilary. So you can be prepared to answer the questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Nelson. Thank you for your presentation. Thank you, Mr. Hilary, too. So my question, I'll just be straight to the point. So you mentioned something very interesting during your presentation about not having a PIP in real life and then bragging on LinkedIn. So PIP is something that is very real in a lot of people's lives. And sometimes it's not like they're lazy, mediocre workers. So what should they present themselves like on LinkedIn? Thank you.
Okay, so let me put more context to what I said when I mentioned that statement. We know that in some cases, some managers and organizations can be very vindictive, right? And unnecessarily place an employee on PIP. A superstar in some cases may be misunderstood, right? And because they want to exit him because he has become a threat to the organization or to some persons, I mean, office politics is a thing. is a different thing. People argue to play or not to play. But however side of this divide you choose, you would always find it in every organization. And so if it's a case of where there's an heavy politics to get this person out because they probably step on toes and all of that, and then he was wrongly placed on PIP, that's a different conversation. But not an employee who has from time to time shown lackadaisical attitude, zero competence, zero capabilities, zero improvement, and all of that, is not performing, right? But then online, you are coming to demonstrate or show something that you are not. Your new organization will find out. And the funny thing is that even your current organization, they will see you and you just become a laughing stock. You understand? So when I made that statement, it is for people who truly are not competent, but they rather focus on the limelight rather than growing. In the same vein, when I say to people, and from what I learned from my mentor, the focus has always been certificates over certificates. So people go ahead and parade certificates, whereas they're not sabi. People go ahead and try to want to build a brand and make noise online, but the competence is less to zero. They are not performing. So that's what I mean when I talked about you cannot be on PIP, you cannot be an employee who is not performing, right? And then you then come online and be trying to brand yourself as a superstar. Your online presence must match with your offline presence. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Your online presence must match your offline presence. No packaging. Okay, so we'll take Role Samuel Tofumi. Please ask your question.
All right, thank you, Dipo. Good afternoon, Mr. Nelson. Good afternoon, Mr. Hilary. Thank you very much for those presentations. So, Mr. Nelson, you said something about, for instance, if someone wants to cross, for example, maybe after a long time and realize that, oh, this is not really my area of interest, and they want to cross, you said something about the fact that maybe they might not, or they will not necessarily start from scratch. So
Yeah.
I want you to maybe explain, maybe with maybe a real life case, because for me, my understanding is, for instance, maybe you've always been an auditor and you now want to go to investment banking. So there's a way, or maybe you've been in, let's say, general services, you now want to move to, there's a way that I feel that regardless of your years of experience, you have to pick from scratch. So I would like you to explain further, and if probably you can give us some instances or scenarios. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I will answer your question I'm seeing a question on the chat box. So I'll answer, but since we're talking about career transition, basically. So to be honest, you do not need to start from scratch in all cases. Now, you are doing internal audits, for instance. You want to cross into investment banking. Now, internal audits can be in any industry: manufacturing, consulting, education, entertainment, legal, banking. But investment banking is a specific niche, is a specific industry. However, one thing we forget to do is that because we want to switch, we put ourselves in a position of we are begging, in a position of desperation, in a position of confusion. And that's why I said when I spoke is craft a narrative that shows progression. So if I were you, what I would be looking to do is to connect with people in the investment industry. Your apply and pray method may not work because people want to see your experience in investment banking. So sending your CV to apply for investment banking roles will not work because of that, this person is not qualified. But however, if you have done your study, you have learned, you have built skills, and competencies and probably certificates around investment banking, your job will now be to craft a narrative that shows progression. After 4 or 5 years of internal audits, I have been able to develop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 skills that are around investment banking, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 understanding, and I have XYZ transferable skills that can work here because I now understand investment banking to an extent, right? That is the narrative you are crafting with your brand online. Now, you are now intentionally networking with people that matter. Potential hiring managers in this case, not HR. People give HR too much glorification, too much power that we have. Who has the power to hire you is not HR. HR only coordinates and facilitates the process. It is the hiring manager. It could be the head of investment banking, or whatever the title is, that most time even have a higher say. That is the person you should be networking with. That person should be putting your value to his face and say, I mean, if you can meet the person physically, you can meet on LinkedIn. Don't go and say, hi, sir, how are you, sir? I want to work with you. No. Demonstrate and show value. Craft your message properly that will attract and compel the person to listen to you. If that person brings your CV to me as head of HR for investment banking and say, I want this person on my team, the best I can do is, oh, but this person doesn't have qualification, right? In most cases, the line manager would always win that argument because they are the one who get to manage the team. And so you want to craft your narrative properly and you want to network right. That is the first solution. You are not coming from a place of desperation. You are not coming from a place of confusion. You are crafting your narrative in a way that people can say, yes, I am intentional about my next career step and I know what I am looking for. Right? Now, the person that talked about, oh, career switch when you already have 6 years experience in that field, say risk management, I want to switch to HR. The same thing applies, right? Do not go and be applying for an HR manager job when you have been working as risk management somebody for the last 6 years. You know, go fly. Except it is your father that has the company. They will see your CV and probably trade. So apply and pray method will not work. I believe in miracles, but most times can miracles don't happen. Right? Rather, your approach should be, who is the HR manager in that organization? What HR skills? I have managed people in my team. I've managed their performance. And that's why when HR tell you do performance management, for instance, it's not because you're trying to make HR happy. It's because you want to understand those things that HR do that used to make them feel like they are God. So when you now want to transition, you can say to somebody, say, I have managed performance for a team of 12 that reports to me, with 20%, with 70% of them being on a 80% percentile. Do you even know what that means? So you want to speak the language of the person you are going to meet to say, I want to transition. I've been able to recruit. I've sat in interviews. And that's why I talked about quality of experience. Do not just sit in your company doing plug data, send the report. Yes, sir. Find, attach. How involved are you in your team activities? If they are recruiting people into your team, if they are managing performance, if they're even deciding compensation in some cases, how involved are you? Do not answer manager and sit down for years, then you now want to transition later because you have no transferable skills. And so what you want to sell is the transferable skills that you have, your knowledge and experience, not 100%, but they are totally related to the field of HR that you want to switch into. You are not doing apply and pray. You are putting out content, building your brand so that people can say, oh, this person has more sense in HR. You probably go and register for CIPM, SHRM, HRCI, any of these certifications to show your prospective employer that, oh, this person truly has an interest in HR. Take note, it is not, oh, I do it now and I get the job the next day. It doesn't work that way. Finding the job is a job itself. Career transition is a journey. You must get to the point where you are okay and satisfied with working on that journey and not getting ready after 1, 2, 3 months. What makes you successful in your transition journey is your consistency. Not, oh, I applied today, it no work, let me sit down. I hope I've answered your questions.
Thank you very much. What makes you successful in your transition journey is your consistency. Thank you, Mr. Nelson Dominic. There are other questions, but I would like to quickly direct the next 2 questions to Mr. Hilary, while we'll come back to you. I think, I can see Emmanuel Oshoya has dropped a question that is directed to you, Mr. Nelson. So, Mr. Hilary, the next 2 questions. Number 1, talking about cover letters. In terms of applying for jobs, could you quickly talk to us about the importance of cover letters if it's needed every time we apply? or only when it is requested. And the second question is using AI to write our CVs or profiles or bio. Using what is the risk we run when we use AI to just cook up our CVs? Thank you. Those are the two questions.
All right, thank you very much. And also, let me also acknowledge Mr. Nelson for the impactful session. Thank you very much. So, sorry, what was your first question again?
The first question is cover letters. When
okay, cover letter. Okay, all right.
Yes.
So
cover letter compulsory, yes. Or
okay, so all right, thank you. So cover letter basically is, we call it a marketing document. And we call it a marketing document because it is the document of where you can fully express yourself. Usually on a CV is usually short, it is concise, it is targeted, and you want to highlight those relevant skills or that are needed on the job. So what a cover letter now does is, a cover letter serves more like a marketing document that you can further explain, express yourself, and expatiate on what you have already written on your CV. So now, to say whether a cover letter is always compulsory, we cannot tell you it's always compulsory or it's not always compulsory, but it's advisable in the case where you have the opportunity to submit it. So there are cases where you're told to submit a CV, and when we run CVs through ATS, we don't run them with cover letters because it's not programmed to take care of cover letters, only CVs and resume. Okay, but there are cases where you are able to attach your cover letter along with your CV. Now, if that is the case where you have to, attach your cover letter, it's now the privilege for you, an opportunity to be able to self-express and market your skill in the way that you would have done if you were standing face-to-face with the hiring manager or whoever is in charge of that hiring process. So it's majorly a marketing document now. One of the things you should know when you're preparing your, your cover letter is, number one, you want to communicate your skills, your experience, and your knowledge in a way that they require it on your job and the impact that is going to be doing when you come into the organization. So it's more like translating those skills on how you're going to apply it on the job if given that privilege to work. So that is the essence of your cover letter. And I always advise people that in the case where you have the privilege of submitting a cover letter, always attach a cover letter. But then one thing I realized that not many people have the language, the skill to effectively communicate what they already have. Do you know, it is often said that a bad product, well marketed, will stand better chance than a good product that is poorly marketed. So the marketing is not bragging. The marketing is not, or using your cover letter is not saying what is not. Is an opportunity for you to better express yourself, because that expression cannot be found on your resume. So in the case where it's possible, I'll advise you to submit, to use your, to attach a cover letter. Secondly, is it advisable to use AI? Now, let me say this, that AI has a lot of limitation, and AI is supposed to serve as a guide, and AI should never replace what you are doing. The truth of the matter is, you can use AI to prepare a good CV, but AI is not going to work for you. AI is not what is not going to stand on your job. AI is not what is going to defend you. Mr. Nelson said something that there has to be a marriage between your physical presence and your online presence. Just the way I talked about your online CV. So if you get to the job, you will only embarrass yourself, you will only disgrace yourself and put more harm to yourself. So what AI should help you do is, how should I effectively put this? Not saying, hey, I take this and write for me. It's like people that prepare sermons, prepare notes, write books using CV. It's not your work. It's not your brainchild. It's the computer that did it for you. So any form of tool in form of AI and all of that should only help you effectively. For instance, maybe you want to find a pattern. How do I structure my CV for such a job? How do I prepare my document or my resume for so and so country? You want to do a research for maybe an international job that you are applying for, or maybe a company that you want to apply for international opportunity is another country, and you want to find out how they do things. This is where AI comes in to give you knowledge and guide on how to effectively position that your document. Listen, you can have a glass that is half full and half empty. It may be the same thing. So words and the way it's communicated, the way you sell yourself, AI should only serve as a guide.
Peter, I don't know if it's just me, but I can't hear Mr. Hilary. Do you want to confirm from your end?
Notice the same thing too. Let me try and find out what is going
Okay,
on.
can you hear me?
He's back.
Okay, sorry, a call was coming in. So in summary, what I'm saying is that AI tools are supposed to guide us. They are not supposed to be used. If you use AI and you cross the path, when you now get on the job, if you are selected, then you may be shortchanging yourself. In fact, let me even tell you that in my research and work with people, I've heard people and some even hiring managers and people that are seeking opportunity say it's okay to lie on your CV when you get there, but you cannot give what you do not have. You cannot lie your way into value. When you get that opportunity and when you're supposed to now present and defend yourself. And let me say this, in the 21st century, hiring managers, human resource, and leaders and people who run organizations have become smarter than what it used to be before. So time did not permit us to talk about other means of even recruitment outside these conventional ways, because we want to be able to bring in the right people. So in summary, first of all, always include a cover letter where the opportunity and privilege is. If it's not, it's fine. Secondly, I do not advise you to use AI in preparing or crafting your CV or your cover letter. It should serve as a guide for research where you can now sit down, or at best you can contact a professional who can help you, guide you in preparing this document. In my little experience in this area, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you for a fact, experientially speaking, that your CV, your resume, your cover letter, these documents are important because most often they represent you before you get to meet you. On your online CV now, which may be just like Mr. Nelson said, your any other platform you're using to represent yourself, that is on such platforms, there's no limitation of expression. That is the beauty on the other side of it. You can express yourself, market yourself, and always project your values and skill. And I think you will be fine doing that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just before you go, someone is asking a very vital question. As we are now doing our MBA, is it a good practice to have MBA in view on our resume when we are applying for job? Putting MBA, let me know, like, I've also done it too. So that is, I'm also echoing the person's thoughts. MBA in view is on my CV currently. Is it good, sir?
So let me talk about the aspect of something that is in view. Now, in view communicates an educational pursuit. In view communicates an educational pursuit, but skills and experience communicates what you already have. And so in as much as you can put in view, which is fine, more stronger is that, we said something that anytime you're preparing your CV, you must always put your best foot forward. So if it's your skills that you already have, that is your best foot forward, fine. If it's your experience, is your best foot forward. If it's your education, so you speak, focus on what you have the loudest. Then other things that you may not have achieved can now be in the background, and your experience, your qualification, your skills can swallow up that thing, because you may start feeling, oh, okay, I've not achieved my MBA, they say MBA. And I always advise people, listen, even if you are trying to opt in for a job and it requires, for instance, an MBA, even if you have not obtained an MBA yet, put it and go in for the job. Then highlight what you already have in terms of your skills, your knowledge, and your qualification. Project those things forward. In fact, reading, there was a time somebody submitted an application, And because we also do recruitment for smaller bodies. And when this guy came and I saw his CV, when I was reading, he's into IT, when I was reading his knowledge, his skill, and the jobs he has done, guess what? This guy graduated with the third class. But at some point, we're not even worried about the third class because at some point, it's not even what is relevant. It was not even relevant at that point because when we saw his knowledge and skills and what he was already bringing to the table, it was sufficient enough to bring him. So in summary, focus, put your best foot forward, put what you have ahead of you, and it will swallow up all other minor things that may even be required, but you may not have necessarily achieved. So there's nothing wrong in putting if you have a qualification that
I don't know if it's from my end, but I can no longer hear you. It's frozen from my end. So thank you very much. Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. Are you done, sir?
Yeah, I'm done. Yes.
Thank you very much for that. So in essence, we can put that, but we should always put our best foot forward. If it's our skills, certifications, what we have achieved should come before what we are pursuing in the background. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's quickly take this last question. I don't know if it's directed to both of you. There are two questions in the chat, so I will read them and then maybe you can take turns and then we'll move to the next part of today's session. Okay, so the first question from Emmanuel Osho says, how do we juxtapose putting up an impressive social media profile consistent to your career path, that is to our career path, with not being eventually profiled and getting discriminated, since the profiles communicate more than is needed by the employer? I guess this is to Mr. Nelson. Let me take the second one. The second one is saying that how can one effectively volunteer or apply for internships in a field that they have no direct experience in, but are passionate about transitioning into? So I guess this is open to both of you as well. So I yield the floor to, I think, Mr. Nelson, while Mr. Hilary, you help us close the Q&A with your response. Thank you.
So again, I'm of the opinion, right, that and that's one thing I learned from my mentor, Yemi Fashion. I mean, I met him when I was still in uni, and he's been my mentor almost all my life, right, up to where I am today in my career. Yemi Fashion is one of the top 50 HR people in the world, the big name in HR as far as Nigeria is concerned. You do not embrace the limelight, right, until you have built some competencies. You first dig roots downward before you try to spring up. The mistake we make, right, is that we want to, now because we talked about branding, you want to go and oversell yourself and build a very strong social media profile that you cannot defend. You want to go and use AI and craft plenty that make your profile look good. See, even if all you have is a 2-year experience, there is a market for you. There's an employer for you. That experience and competency that you have built, craft it well. Do not oversell yourself. Let what it is, like I said, again, let your online match your offline. In as much as you're also trying to not oversell yourself, you're also ensuring that you have done an honest review of yourself. You have identified your skill gap, and you are intentional on the path to closing those gaps. Skill gap is not certificates now. It is, I've been working in finance for the past 4 years, but I have no knowledge of tax law. I need to close this gap. I've been working in HR for the past 2 years. I only know recruitment and employee relation. I need to learn organizational development, OD. I need to learn core talent management. I need to learn succession planning. It is you identifying those gaps and intentionally working to close them, either by going to learn online or seeking for opportunities within your organization to get on those projects. Again, do not be on this call today and you are in your office and you are folding your hands and it's only what they ask you to do. Your own is, yes, sir, find attached. You cannot grow that way. You must be interested in everything that has to do. You are in a full team of 6, 7, 10, everybody doing finance. And you are okay with just posting payment online and posting payment on Sage. And you are happy. You are only committing career suicide. Because in the next 3, 4, 5 years when you want to move, you will only be restricted to payables. But say, for instance, within that team of 4, 5, 6, you have done payables, receivables, account reconciliation, reporting, taxation. You have put your inside financial modeling. Morgan, what are you doing? I know this is for manager, but then I can help you do your Excel sheet. Then, because you are looking to learn. That way, when you are trying to class your presence online, it matches what you know. But do not go and paint yourself as I'm using finance. I'm not a finance person, right? But of course, I mean, I'm knowledgeable with this on these things. You cannot present yourself as a seasoned finance professional with 20 years experience across multiple industries. When we not check your seasoning, not payable. You are not seasoned now. So the thing is, ensure that you build solid competence. Carry your eyes around the team. Where you cannot learn it in your team, look for where to volunteer. Look for where they are doing it. If you have to, because of that, I'm not learning here, go and look for another job where you can start from what you are doing and begin to learn other things. Do that now. That should be your first priority. In so much that as you are growing and seek, I mean, everybody on this call are MBA students. Our goal is to become managers and leaders. I'm not talking to entry-level persons here. So you should not, after 2, 3 years, still be playing around entry-level payables and all as an MBA person. Why do you have an MBA? MBA is supposed to certify you as a business professional. But sadly, I mean, I have an MBA as well, right? But sadly, all of us pursue MBA because, class, status. But your goal should be, I have an MBA and I have the required competencies to back up the MBA that I have. So your goal and focus should be building competencies that align with the narrative you want to sell yourself as. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening.
Thank you very much. Your MBA should back up your existing competencies. All right, thank you very much, Mr. Nelson Dominic. Mr. Hilary, we have the privilege to have you close out the QA session. So somebody is asking, he wants to effectively volunteer or apply for internship in a field they have no direct experience, but they want to transition into. So how can they go about it? Thank you as you quickly wrap up that with us. Thank you.
All right.
Please,
So the first, okay, yeah, I've done that. Thank you. So the first thing you need to ask yourself is why do you want to transition in your career? I think it's very important to first of all answer the question of why. Every career has a family within which you can circle within. So if you're in tech, for instance, there are various aspects of tech that you can be in. If you're in engineering, there are various aspects where you can, build professionalism. So I want to first of all say you need to define why you want to transition. People transition for wrong reasons. People transition because they're after money. People transition because they are just tired of their current job, and you see the other one as a greener pasture. It's important because there's a period in my life where I was transiting in careers, and it was a very tough and challenging time for me because my history had been built over years in this particular aspect. And I had to go and say, okay, why do I really need to transition? Am I transitioning because I just want to leave this job or I want to leave this organization? And deep down in my mind, I was able to answer that I had outgrown the current space where I was, and I needed to transition to something bigger. In fact, there was more like I had plateaued. Okay, I had reached a limitation. And so that why became very, very important for me. The first question you need to ask yourself is, why do you want to transition? That's number one. Number two, you don't need any experience whatsoever to transition into any field, especially if you are starting up, transitioning. Every level of starting is a higher platform. If you count from 1 to 10, you get to 0, but you add 1 and go to 20, you add 0. So you're not necessarily starting, because you're not starting from 0. You're already starting from a place of experience. However, the experience may not be what you have had. So all you need to do is, after answering the question of the necessity of that transition, the next thing is to decide the right area or the space that you want to transition into. After deciding it, please go and do a research on what is required within that space that you want to transition to. Okay, so internships are a very great way, because usually in internship, you are not necessarily under a payroll. You're not necessarily bound to the organization. In fact, you are given, it's a mutual relationship. You are giving something as well as you are getting. So it's more like an opportunity for you to learn. Listen, if picking a cue from what I've learned in my career in working is that if you're only
Sorry, Peter, can you hear me?
Sorry, please.
Yes.
They feel regret. Okay, it's a call that is coming in that is affecting my distance. So they feel a lot of regret. Why? Because they discovered that they were in a particular field of career, but they did not.
Wow, I guess the calls are buzzing him. Mr. Hilary is a busy man. Please bear with us.
Outside that immediate space. So please, if you want to transition, let me line up the points. Number 1, determine why. Number 2, determine the aspect that you want to transition to. Number 3, you're not starting with no experience. So long as you have done something, you have been engaged, you have worked, you have already built up an experience. Lastly, that I will say is that when you get into the space where you want to offer your internship, listen, there is no job that what you are doing is only what you require. There are many other auxiliary knowledge that you have that you can bring to bear on that particular job that you're working, which you're transitioning or more like carrying over from the previous experience that you have. Number 4, there are so many listen, anyone who wants to grow is so simple, because the internet is God's mercy system for all of us. Within 3 to 6 months, any serious person can gain knowledge. Any serious person can gain knowledge and skills. There are people that offer various kind of skills. What schools are doing in 4 years, people are doing it in 6 months, in 8 months. You're getting, in fact, I was watching a documentary where the Chinese said that they can produce a sound engineer in 1 year. Calculate all the number of 5 years you spend possibly studying engineering. If you collapse it and remove all the breaks, it's not more than 3 years academic work. If you remove all the excesses, the exam and all of these things, you will see that give or take, you need not more than 2.5 years to become a certified engineer. I mean, to knowledgeable engineer. So the Chinese said we can build a sound engineer in 1 year. What? Because it's all about skills. And I said that to say that the internet is a friend that you can go and learn about any area. This is where AI tools come in, where you want to go into a field. What do I require? What knowledge, what field, what certification? And before you know what, if you make YouTube your friend and with good networks, I said in one of the slides that you need to network and get the industry. There are industry, what do we call them? I used to attend exhibitions and all of those things that happen a lot in Lagos. There are exhibitions that happen a lot in Abuja. I attended international exhibition some years ago on HSC, and I connected real time with those who were in safety, because everybody is looking for an irrigation of ideas, of knowledge and skill. So, but when you hold yourself back saying, hey, how do I go into this area? I don't have, you would actually remain in that area. And your ability to stand up with that boldness and confidence and walk into a space where you desire, before you will know what, you will even be interacting with those who already have 10 years and have not taken any step in that direction. So if you want to transition, is what you should do. Get knowledge, get skill in that area, and move into that aspect of internship. Don't take for an answer under certain circumstances. And before you know what, you already find your space within that space. There have been a lot of people that have transitioned. I've also transitioned in career, and anybody can do it. So you don't need any special, don't allow yourself to hold back. Please go into it if you see the need, haven't answered your why. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Mr. Peter,
Mr.
you have the
Hilary.
floor.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Hilary. Thank you so much, Nelson. Both section has really been impactful, and sincerely, I had things to put down. I've really learned from both sections, and thank you so much for coming. We also want to thank our participant, people that started with us since day one. We started this series since last weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and this is the second weekend. It's designed for 5 sections in total, and we want to appreciate our audience for always coming. I know it's so much of a stress because examination is already at the door. And like I said at my opening remark, the MBA Seminar Series is the first of its kind in the history of UNILAG MBA School. And this seminar series was born out of a vision to bridge the gap between what we learn in the 4 walls of the classroom and the practical skills needed to excel in today's business world. And I'm glad that this is actually fulfilling its purpose. And my prayer is that the next set of leadership who will take over from us will not let this initiative die, but we carry it forward, making it better, bigger, and more impactful, and building on what we've started so far so that the MBA Seminar Series become a sustainable legacy of growth, value, and excellence in UNILAG MBA School. Ladies and gentlemen, we have not closed yet. I have something very important that we need to do. Dikbo, can I have the slide? All right, thank you. It's my honor to do something very important. On behalf of the MBA Student Association of the University of Lagos, I'm proud to present this certificate of appreciation to Mr. Hilary Isah. Hilary, the value you delivered today was exceptional. Your insight on CV writing, personal branding, and global job aspects were nothing short of transformational. Your willingness to share your time, energy, and expertise has elevated this seminar series, and we deeply appreciate you for your time and your energy. Please accept this certification as a formal recognition of your immense contribution. We also forward a copy to you after this section. Once again, thank you for honoring us and for empowering the MBA community with your knowledge. Mr. Hilary, do you have anything to say? Any last word from you? All right.
We have to unmute him. We have to unmute him.
Oh, he's muted. Oh, let me do that. Sorry.
All right, engineer, I want to say a very, very big thank you. The president and of course, all other executive that has found me, worthy of this recognition. I want to sincerely appreciate. Thank you for this privilege. I do not take it for granted. I am really, really honored. When you invite somebody to speak, you're not just being blessed, it's also an opportunity for them to express themselves and give back to society. And you have helped us to do that. And I want to say a very, very big thank you. Thank you, and God bless us. I appreciate. And I also thank Mr. Nelson. I was also blessed by his session, and I pray that God will also help him. Thank you, all of us. Engineer Peter, thank you. I really appreciate. And the participants, thank you, just full of gratitude and appreciation. And my prayer is that what we have done today, beyond this, the end result of knowledge is application. Any knowledge that is not applied will not yield results. So I want to, ensure that, I want to encourage everybody to make use of this knowledge. You can reach out to us through Engineer Peter if you need more clarity on some things, more support in any area. Yes, we'll be very, very willing to, I'll be very willing to offer my professional help in any of these areas. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Mr. Nelson, thank you also. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Hilary. We are not done yet. Sorry, our guest in the house. Sorry. On behalf of the MBA Student Association of the University of Lagos, I'm proud to present this certificate of appreciation to Mr. Nelson Dominic. Nelson, your section on LinkedIn optimization and digital visibility was packed with real value. Your wealth of experience in multiple countries shone through and inspired us all. Thank you for giving your time and for making the seminar series richer and more practical. Please accept this certificate as a token of our sincere appreciation. A digital copy will be sent to you after this section. Thank you for making a lasting impact on our community. Thank you so much, Mr. Nelson. Any last word from you before we take the next agenda?
Yes. Thank you very much, Engineer Peter. I think I'm happy that we had this session. And then for me, the the most gratitude that I will get and feel from this session today is that people take this up and then take their rightful places in the world of work and in their career space. I hope that this session, fired you as much as possible to become the best you can be as far as your career is concerned. This is me constantly rooting for you, and I wish you the best in your career.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nelson. That's inspiring. Thank you so much. Dikbo, I'll hand over to you to take the acknowledgement of our sponsor. Thank you.
All right, thank you, very esteemed Vice President, Engineer Peter Ogumboale, has been immensely instrumental since the start of these sessions. Howbeit, we're able to also get others who have shown their support in ensuring that the MBA Seminar Series have been fruitful. So we have our list of sponsors here. Joba Niger, Alpha The Rock, Reforge Studios, and IK Motion. I'll just quickly run us through their profiles. So Joba Niger, owned by Buzo, very one amongst us, is currently in year one. He donated a sum of 100,000 Naira in support of this series. What Joba Niger does is to connect job seekers with top career opportunities, and then they offer admission seekers support in terms of getting into the school and also with past questions. They also do sale of electronics and gadgets. You can visit their website on jobaniger.com. Alpha The Rock, our very own Okeowu Kayode Ayodeji, a year 2 student who is into branding. He also supported this seminar with printing support. They are into corporate printing and custom branding, event souvenirs, and branded gifts. You can reach out to Alpha The Rock's team on 0803 722 6562. Reforge Studios Plus, owned by Toby Samuel Adeoyan, a year 2 member as well in Stream 3. They are also they also supported this MBA Seminar Series with their craftsmanship in our promo video, which you saw when we started the session. They're into film and postcard production, brand storytelling, and media consulting. You can visit their website on reforgestudios.plus.com. And lastly, we have IK Motion, our very own moderator since we started this session. Is a financial contributor. Is a philosopher and a philanthropist. He believes in giving back and empowering others. We really, really thank you, IK Motion, for standing with us. These are our sponsors. And if you like to continue to support us, appreciate the effort that has gone into the MBA series, you can show your support by leveraging the Money Point bank account number that is being displayed, and then note MBA Seminar as the reference when you are making your contributions and donations. We do appreciate you for your kind gesture. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Your support will go a long way in ensuring that we are powering the MBA Seminar Series in terms of appreciation to everyone who has made this a successful journey. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We really appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much, Dikbo, for that wonderful section. We want to remind you all, we are pressed for time. There's so much to say, but I want to remind us all, next week is another time. We are not having any Saturday section. We are having just Sunday, 4 p.m., August 10. And we are going to be having Professor Dixon Ogbechi. She's going to be taking the MBA project writing masterclass. We started with Professor Oluwafemi Olaoluwa. It took us 2 sections, the last week, Saturday and Sunday. We'll be rounding up with Professor Dixon Ogbechi, the grand finale, and that will round up the MBA project and MBA Seminar Series for this year, 2025. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you for your time. Thank you for giving us your attention all through the beginning of this section till now. I hope to see you all next week, Sunday by 4 p.m. Before we close, I would like to hand over the mic to our Assistant General Secretary, Hilda Oshimade, to take the vote of thanks. Thank you. Hello, Hilda.
Hi, thank you. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can, yes.
All right, thank you very much for that. You all will agree with me that the session has been a very insightful one. One major key takeaway is we should build competencies. Competencies is actually required as it will take you far in your career. On behalf of the MBA Student Association, we express our deepest gratitude to our guest speaker, Mr. Hilary Isah and Mr. Nelson Dominic, for their impactful presentation on positioning yourself for global career opportunities. Now, you'd agree that today we can say we have better insights to CV writings, better LinkedIn optimization, and also better ways to sell our brands. To our moderators, to the technical team, the planning committee, and our sponsors, we say thank you for your dedication and support in making this event a success. Would also appreciate our Vice President, Engineer Peter Ogunbowale, for, bringing together this MBA Seminar Series to light. And to every participant who was present here today, thank you for taking out your time to invest in your growth and career. Please remember that the grand finale is coming up, MBA Project Writing Masterclass. This will be with our amiable Professor B. and Dixon Ogbeche. It's holding on Sunday, August 10th at 4 p.m. So you do not want to miss it. We say thank you once again and hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Next, global career investor ready pitch. This seminar isn't optional, it's essential. Business school teaches theory, but no one shows you how to stand out. How do you sell yourself globally? How do you really write an A-plus MBA project that speaks for you? How do you pitch an idea that turns heads and open wallets? And in a world full of graduates, what makes you unforgettable? We bring you what the classroom never could. Professor Dixon Ogbechi, master your MBA project like a pro. Nelson Dominic, step into global career spaces with confidence. Felix Obuji, sell your ideas like an entrepreneur. Hilary Isa, build your brand, own your path. Learn from people who've worked the path and want to show you how. And it's all happening online. No sign-ups, no stress, just value. Join us live. Ask questions. Engage with experts in real time. Because the value is in the room, not in a replay. This isn't another class. It's not on YouTube. And no recordings will be shared. You're either in the room or you are out of the conversation. Show up, learn up, level up. This is what school didn't teach, but success demand. Don't plan to catch the replay. There won't be one. Recordings will be shared. You either show up or miss out. Ask questions, connect, learn what school doesn't teach. This is your chance to grow beyond the classroom. Be in the room or be left behind. I am Engineer Peter Ogunbowale, founding cooperative. I currently serve as the Vice President full-time of the MBA Organization. I can personally say this seminar is one of the most important seminars to have. And these seminars are designed to teach you what the classroom is not. And I'm personally inviting you to join us live. If you want to hear about this seminar after that happened, please be part of it. I'll be there and I hope to see you there. Thank you. for what comes next? Global career, investor ready pitch. This seminar isn't optional, it's essential. Business school teaches theory, but no one shows you how to stand out. How do you sell yourself globally? How do you really write an A+ MBA project that speaks for you? How do you pitch an idea that turns heads and open wallets? And in a world full of graduates, what makes you unforgettable? We bring you what the classroom never could. Professor Dixon Ogbechi, master your MBA project like a pro. Nelson Dominic, step into global career spaces with confidence. Felix Ogbuji, sell your ideas like an entrepreneur. Hilary N, build your brand, own your path. Learn from people who've walked the path and want to show you how. And it's all happening online. No sign-ups, no stress, just value. Join us live, ask questions, engage with experts in real time, because the value is in the room, not in a replay. This isn't another class. It's not on YouTube, and no recordings will be shared. You're either in the room or you are out of the conversation. Show up, learn up, level up. This is what school didn't teach, but success demand. Don't plan to catch the replay. There won't be one. Recordings won't be shared. You either show up or miss out. Ask questions, connect, learn what school doesn't teach. This is your chance to grow beyond the classroom. Be in the room or be left behind.
Hi, I'm Engineer Peter Ogumowale, fondly called Peteru, and I currently serve as the Vice President full-time of the MBA Student Association. I can personally say this seminar is one of the most important seminar series we will have, and these seminars are designed to teach you what the classroom does not, and I'm personally inviting you to join us live. You don't want to hear about this seminar after it has happened? Please be part of it. I'll be there, and I hope to see you there too. Thank you.
You've got the MBA, but are you truly ready for what comes next? Global career, investor ready pitch. This seminar isn't optional, it's essential. Business school teaches theory, but no one shows you how to stand out. How do you sell yourself globally? How do you really write an A+ MBA project that speaks for you? How do you pitch an idea that turns heads and open wallets? And in a world full of graduates, what makes you unforgettable? We bring you what the classroom never could. Professor Dixon Ogbechi, master your MBA project like a pro. Nelson Dominic, step into global career spaces with confidence. Felix Ogbuji, sell your ideas like an entrepreneur. Hilary N, build your brand, own your path. Learn from people who've walked the path and want to show you how. And it's all happening online. No sign-ups, no stress, just value. Join us live, ask questions, engage with experts in real time, because the value is in the room, not in a replay. This isn't another class. It's not on YouTube, and no recordings will be shared. You're either in the room or you are out of the conversation. Show up, learn up, level up. This is what school didn't teach, but success demand. Don't plan to catch the replay. There won't be one. Recordings won't be shared. You either show up or miss out. Ask questions, connect, learn what school doesn't teach. This is your chance to grow beyond the classroom. Be in the room or be left behind.
Hi, I'm Engineer Peter Ogumowale, fondly called Peteru, and I currently serve as the Vice President full-time of the MBA Student Association. I can personally say this seminar is one of the most important seminar series we will have, and these seminars are designed to teach you what the classroom does not, and I'm personally inviting you to join us live. You don't want to hear about this seminar after it has happened? Please be part of it. I'll be there, and I hope to see you there too. Thank you.